Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. So today I'm going to talk about what it takes to actually migrate to the greatest nation on earth, and that is the United States of America. Today I'm going to talk about what it actually takes for the average person to immigrate from their home country to a foreign land and be able to transform themselves from a financial point of view. So having been in the US for the last 4 years, I've been able to learn and go through a lot. And looking at the internet, I couldn't find a solid piece of advice of what it actually takes to be able to settle in a foreign land, so the United States of America, with ease and be able to transform yourself into the next level so that you can be able to start the process of settling in. So what have I been able to learn through my journey that can actually help somebody out there so that they can set themselves up for success? So first and foremost, you have to realize that the country that is the United States is actually a corporation, and therefore you have to behave corporate for you to survive in this environment. So if you're coming to the US, you have to prepare yourself to behave corporate so that you can start your journey at a high footing. And for some of us, it took us time because we didn't have these pieces of information. And the internet, when you go through the internet, you hear a mixed view of what it requires of you to actually become. You'll hear a lot of people saying that you shouldn't actually immigrate. You'll hear a lot of people complaining from a financial point of view that it is actually so chaotic to become, and you will see a lot of negative comments. Does this actually restrain people from immigrating? No, because as the world continues to become a global village, improvement of technology, the advent of AI will continue to spur immigration, because people will continue to do what they will have to do to better themselves. And therefore, if you get the chance of moving from your home country to this beautiful nation, then you need to set yourself up so that you can start making an impact at a global scale to be able to transform yourself. And so the first thing you will ever do is to be able to get your state ID, and better still, get your local driving license, because it is what will identify you. It is your point of reference. You need this driving license from the first day. And some of us take years to have this document because we come from countries that a driving license is not a necessity. But I'm here to tell you that if you want to actually start from the right footing, then get yourself a driver's license at your state of residence. You should actually know that driver's license is such a sacred tool that should be guarded at all costs. Remember, driving in the American freeways is the greatest privilege that you'll have as a person that actually comes with tremendous responsibility, because we have other road users that share this common facility that is our freeways. And so you have to exercise this privilege of freedom with serious caution, and therefore never ever drive under the influence. Never. And I've seen a lot of us getting to a situation whereby, because they didn't actually know the gravity of driving under the influence, put themselves in trouble of actually dealing with the problems that come as a result of driving under the influence. Never find yourself in a situation whereby you have to drive under the influence. If at any point, at any circumstance, you are under the influence, take care of yourself, get an Uber, get a family member, or better still, park, detox yourself, and drive while sober, because you will avoid a lot of trouble during your stay in this beautiful country. 2, if you get the privilege of actually immigrating to to the United States of America, from day one, make sure you get yourself a checking and savings account from top-tier banks. You'll start to realize that it takes time to actually build a credit score and have a financial footprint in the banking system. Therefore, you need to organize yourself. You need to put yourself together so that you can be able to actually have a footprint within the financial system. Therefore, from day one, you need to have your checking account, your savings account, and most importantly, have credit cards from the financial institutions that you're dealing with. So don't shy away from starting your journey earlier, because you'll thank yourself down the road after having a robust financial footprint that actually will open doors and give you access to the much needed credit and also relationships within the financial infrastructure. And for the most part, nobody will tell you this. So once you start to realize that this is a financial system, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, that is the time you start building your credit score. That is the time you start building relationships. And at that point, you could have lost 10 years of credit history, 10 years of banking relationships. And so you need to start from day one, because banking is the heart of American financial system. So get yourself checking accounts, get yourself savings accounts, get yourself credit cards from big institutions like Chase Bank, Bank of America, Navy Federal, which is the largest credit union, and all this good stuff from day one, and be responsible with your money and with your credit. Guard your credit and your financial footprint with the highest level of responsibility that you can master, because it's a big deal. When it comes to the question of housing, you'll begin to realize that housing is not cheap in this great country, and therefore you have to weigh your options depending on your financial situation. So you need to understand at the back of your mind that housing is attached to personal freedom. So you don't need to overstay at your host's place, at your family and relatives, if it starts to become a pain. So you need to put yourself in a position whereby you can start having control over your housing situation by actually living with roommates who actually have the same aspirations, so that you can be able to reduce the stress and the limited freedom that comes with you not having a place that you call home. Because the living situation in this country can move quickly from bad to worse, and you find yourself homeless. I'm telling you. So from the word go, put yourself in a position whereby you can keep moving and know that securing a good place for yourself, a roof over your head, should be a #1 priority. Because I've seen a lot of us whose situations have gone from bad to worse, and they have either become homeless or become homosexuals. And I'm telling you, if you get the privilege of coming to this great nation, you need to have your housing situation cut out at all times, because it is going to be your highest financial responsibility that you owe yourself. Because without a proper housing situation, your stress levels will be so high that you cannot manage to set yourself up financially if you have to deal with a chaotic housing situation. It's not going to be easy for you. I'm telling you, it's going to be rough. It's going to be a serious stress factor, and you're not going to move if you take the housing situation casually and you don't realize that it's an important and integral part of you becoming your greatest self. So if you don't want to become homeless, if you don't want to become a homosexual, then you need to guard yourself, and you need to prepare your housing situation every single time you make moves. For most of us, moving to a foreign land is the hardest thing we'll ever do in our lives. And so if you find that opportunity, you have to prepare yourself mentally, because it's never easy. As much as it is not the same for everybody, from a mental standpoint, moving from your home country is going to be your greatest challenge and hurdle that you will ever face in your life. I know the makeup of the human being is heavily resilient and we can face anything in the world. But that shift from one geographical location to another poses a serious challenge, more so when it comes to culture, and that intertwines with relationships. So you will find it lonely. But the beauty is you have to up your skills when it comes to networking. And it is going to be an integral part of your growth from a financial point of view, because the people you will meet, the people you will network with, the people you will bond with at a personal level or a business level will actually open doors for you. And therefore the skill of networking and being able to be relatable, being able to form new meaningful relationships is a skill that you have to learn from day one to be able to capture your aspirations and becoming your highest level of self. Otherwise, it will degenerate to a situation whereby you are so lonely that you will start to question the reason as to why you even moved. So before you get to that level of loneliness and depression, you need to up your networking skills and be able to start building a network of friendships that are meaningful, so that you open yourself up to new opportunities that will actually be able to give you that necessary compassion that we as human beings need to be able to feel better, to be able to face our unknown future. Because at the end of the day, we are social beings. And coming from countries that are extremely social to a first country is going to be an uphill task, because people here are extremely busy and the cultures are different. And therefore you have to find people who you can actually relate with from the word go. When it comes to the question of opportunity, this great nation has serious opportunity. When it comes to the question of opportunity, I don't think there is any other country that has tremendous opportunity as compared to the United States of America. But you who is immigrating is going to actually realize that these opportunities are created and not given. So from the word go, you have to ask yourself, where do the opportunities lie? And how can you strategically position yourself to be able to be a part of the people that benefit from the opportunities that are either readily available or that are being created? Because every day the world is moving ahead, and therefore if you want to be part of the opportunity that this great nation is able to provide for you, then you have to ask yourself two major questions. Do you want to go back to school, or do you want to start a business? Because there is no in between. You either go back to school from the word go, or you start a business. And this is something that I don't see people talking about it, because you don't need to wait for 10 years to realize that you actually needed to go to school, or to realize that you needed to start a business. Because those are the two areas that have the highest return and have the highest opportunity. So you need to ask yourself from day one, do you intend to go back to school so that you can be able to fit into corporate America, or do you want to start business? Because at the end of the day, America is a corporation, and people in business are the ones who are making it. And so if you are into business, then don't worry about knowing what type of business you want to get into. Just incorporate your business in the state that you live in, and let that season as you try to know what type of business that you will engage in. And if it is about school, get back to school promptly and get into these hard courses, get into STEM courses that have proven career paths. Have you been able to immigrate to a foreign country? Or do you know anyone who has immigrated to a foreign country and has been successful into settling down? Comment down below, what challenges did you face and what was your turnaround time into settling in? If you're finding these videos useful, then don't hesitate to subscribe to our channel. Also, like, share, and comment down below. Thank you and see you in the next video.